Hello and welcome to Talking Live. I'm Dr. Robi Ludwig right here in Starshop Studio, and we are so excited. We have a rising superstar, Jessie Palter. She is coming out with a new album called Paper Trail, July 19th. You're going to want this album. I downloaded your music as soon as I heard it. I got it from your publicist. I was like, she's amazing. This is mine. And we will tell you how to get yours. But I am so thrilled to have you. We literally jumped through hoops to make sure that you could be here.
I am eternally grateful. Thank you so much for having me. You're just amazing.
Oh, so thank you. You are just so talented. And when reading your background, you've been musical all of your life. You went to University of Michigan, which everyone seems to really love that school, by the way.
It's a good school. Yeah. I was in the music program there, and my friends and peers have gone off to do incredibly inspiring things.
I bet.
So it was a good energy to be around.
You are the first pop signing artist to Artistry Music, which is a big deal. But I could certainly hear the jazz influence in your music, and you've been compared to Carole King, Sarah McLachlan, Sarah Bareilles, right? Is that how you say her name?
Yes.
You are definitely in that genre. Have you always been drawn to jazz, pop? Where do your leanings lean you towards?
I'm a music junkie. Mm-hmm. I love music of all genres. I always have. I'm drawn to songs, and it's interesting. I've been talking about this more and more lately. For me, I don't do a great job of hearing music in terms of genres. I was just raised on a wide array of music, everything from show tunes. I grew up singing musical theater, so all of the great songwriters of the American Songbook, which is probably why I found jazz, because I just loved the music from the Great American Songbook. And of course, once I really got my feet wet in that, then I was, hungry to find the people that have interpreted this standard so beautifully. And so I was listening to Miles Davis and Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan, all of the greats.
And you write your own music, which is a really big deal. And you talk a little bit about the influence, everything from Facebook to the shower has influenced you, and some of the songs.
Mm-hmm. I think as a songwriter, I try and just keep my brain open to wherever inspiration, whenever inspiration is going to strike. And so I just try and do my best to listen and to observe and allow the muse to just, channel its way through me.
So when you were describing the shower influence, tell us a little bit about that. It was while you were shampooing your hair.
Yeah, there's a track on this record that we actually just released. It's available now on all of the digital streaming providers and iTunes and Apple Music. It's called Sever the Ties. And, I don't fully understand my process, despite the fact that I've been songwriting since I was 13 years old. But I do have little tricks of things that I can do if I'm feeling stuck in a rut, little things that I can do that sometimes are, inspirational for me. And anything meditative, so like working out, walking, taking a spin class, going on a hike, taking a shower, where you're doing something but you're not really thinking about doing it because it's so, second nature. And I was in the shower, and I was obviously living my life and feeling a lot of things and going through a parting of ways with somebody that I had been in a long-term relationship with. And the shampoo bottle was sitting on the counter, and it fell off the counter and ricocheted off the shower door and then back, and it created this rhythmic pattern that sparked the inspiration for the song Sever the Ties that's off my record, that we use that rhythm as a motive throughout the entire song.
See, I'm laughing right now because I'm thinking this is the difference between you and me. So if that happened to me in the shower, I'd be thinking, how do I not fall down in the shower and get what I need to get? But clearly I'm not writing music. Yeah. And then Paper Trail's so interesting, how Facebook influenced that song for you.
Yeah, when you commit to the discipline of songwriting, a lot of times it's just about showing up. And so the promise that I made to myself while I was writing for this record is that I hadn't gotten the record deal yet, and I was going to write music every single day until the label had no choice but to sign me. You know, of course, when the president of the label expressed interest, he was like, well, I really love your work. There was one specific song he was particularly interested in. Can you give me 1,000 more of them? And you're like, what? Can't you just take that one song and know that I'm able to write 1,000,000 more of them? But before they signed me, I think they wanted me to prove to them that I was prolific and I had it in me to come up with, you know, more, to stay inspired and to keep producing work. And so I just would get up every single day and try and chase the song.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're doing it that often, it's easy to get a little stuck because how many different ways can you say the same thing?
There's writing block, and you want
It's
to
a real thing.
communicate
It's a real thing.
powerful stories, which you do. And I just want to talk a little bit about your family, because your family is so interesting. In fact, we have a picture of your great-grandfather's shoe company. He really created the peep toe, the platform, which I usually wear. I'm not wearing it today.
Yeah,
but
wait, this is a peep toe platform.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a peep toe platform.
Yeah.
You're killing it, girl. Those are
so
cute.
he created all of the shoes that I like to wear,
That's
and
awesome.
this is a picture.
And that you can't walk in, right?
Right. Well, I can usually, it depends where I'm walking.
I'm
But
impressed.
this photo is from the Met, so your great-grandfather influenced Steve Madden.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. And I'm wearing Steve Madden. He gave me these, which are
I love
they're
those
fun and rock star.
shoes. Yeah.
My great-grandfather invented the platform, the peep toe, the sling back. He was a shoe mogul. He was kind of an
And
unknown
very
story.
famous people wore him as well.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is just kind of a cool, like, you know, fun little
think,
fact.
I think it's just so awesome. And then there's the musical side as well. So your grandmother was a famous opera singer. Your great-grandmother was the interior designer for Estee Lauder. I mean, could you have a better gene pool in terms of
very
creativity?
Sweet. There was a bit of, you know, New York high society fashion going on in there.
Yeah.
And I can't help but love fashion. I mean, you know, it's in my DNA somewhere, so it's fun. And I'm most interested in the intersection of fashion and music. Like, you know, rock and roll, it's a all-encompassing thing, and the visual should match the sound, and so I love it. I do.
There's also kind of the darker side of your family history, which has led you to be very passionate about mental health issues, which I, as a psychologist, am so grateful for anyone who has a large and talented voice, is willing to share a tough family story. So there's suicide on both sides of your family. One inspired a song which you're going to sing later for us, Goodbye, My Friend.
Yeah, well, it's actually interesting. That's true, and it is really important for me. You know, I've had my own struggles and journey through finding my way with my own mental. I mean, I'm an artist. Obviously, I'm prone to sensitivity and anxiety and all of the things, and I'm grateful that I have a tool that I can sort of channel all this stuff that goes through me. But I was born that way, so it's been my own journey, and I show up every Tuesday for therapy, and
good
you know,
girl.
it's important to me, and I've seen my own, you know, dark places, and had to go through a good deal to get to where I'm at now, and it's a constant journey, but I work at it all the time.
I tell people all the time, and this is the honest to God truth. When I was in college, my mother said, run, don't walk to therapy. So they were a big proponent of therapy, and it was life-changing.
Totally.
It just helps things to click.
Yes.
In a way that would not click otherwise. We don't need to do it all on our own.
Absolutely.
That's a myth.
Absolutely.
You know, yes, you are doing it because the work can't be done without you working.
Right.
But there are people out there that are gifted that can help you see things. And Howard Stern recently was talking about the impact his therapist had on him and how it changed him as a person and as an interviewer on Anderson Cooper. So that was an amazing interview if you ever want to see it.
I do.
Yeah, that was really
incredible.
incredible.
I would love to see that. You'll have to send that to me. I think that we all need a little help sometimes.
We all do.
You know, to tie it back to my family situation, the song that I'm going to sing for you, which I'm so excited to sing.
Yes.
Thank you for giving me
Oh
that
my
opportunity.
God, we're thrilled.
I actually wrote it about a friend of mine that was really struggling with alcoholism.
Oh.
The day I got my record deal, which was supposed to be the most exciting day. You know, I dreamt about this since I was a little
Sure.
girl, just trying to grow up and be the next artist. And my aunt, who was brilliant and a genius and an inspiration to me, consummate artist, visual artist. I'll have to send you her website, because maybe
Please
you
do.
should put some of,
We'd love
you know,
to.
put some of her art on the website or something, because
Yeah,
she's
send
so
it to me.
stunning. She was ill for a while, and she took her own life, and she left into the Hudson River. And so this profound life event that was something that I had been working towards my entire life was overshadowed, understandably so, by this absolutely horrific, god-awful experience. And it's just
Do you
something that
think
you
there
can't
was a
really make sense of.
connection in her mind? Did she even know about the signing?
No, she didn't know
She
the
did
signing.
not know.
It truly had nothing to do with
Okay.
me. And you know, I have a couple of words that I would actually love to say about it in a second here. But the interesting thing about the power of songwriting is that sometimes you write a song and it means one thing, and later when you're performing it, it takes on a totally different meaning. So here I had written this song, Goodbye My Friend, that was already done, finished, not recorded yet, but it was about my friend that was struggling with alcoholism for many years, which is another issue that I think needs
Well,
to have
it's
the stigma
probably
removed from it.
connected also to mood issues. So people very often with addiction history, if you scratch the surface, you see that they're trying to self-medicate either depression
Yep,
or
for sure.
anxiety.
For sure.
And listen, life is hard, and it takes coping skills and the right support system to know how to deal with the ups and downs of life. Because if we don't have that, anyone can go to that place.
Yeah.
That's just the way we are designed. I remember when I was studying for my doctorate, there was this powerful line in one book called The Myth of Suicide, and it said, everybody has skeletons in their closet, but when someone suicides, they leave skeletons in other people's closets. And I thought
Wow.
that that was so powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And so true in working with people who had family members who suicided. So there was multiple suicides, and I know your mother wanted to share a powerful message.
She did, and I
Yes.
appreciate it, because I can talk about my personal journey through mental health, but it's so hard to talk about somebody who took their own life and didn't even know.
This
And I
was
don't
your
wanna put
mother's
words-
sister.
My mother's sister.
Older sister, younger sister?
Her older sister.
Okay.
Beautiful artist, is Schuster.
Well, we'd love to honor her work on our website,
Thank
so we will do
you.
that.
Here's what my mom says. My mom said she was beyond deep. She always felt that she had dominion over her gifts, and one gift was her art, the other gift her body. Huge believer in Eastern medicine, and her daughter, who's my cousin, is now a naturopath. She was sick for many months with what felt like a Parkinson's illness, and she just couldn't get a diagnosis, but she had tremors all night. She lost 40 pounds, and she was no longer able to do her art. And while walking, which she did regularly all her life, she began to lose her way. She knew she was becoming an increasing burden to those she loved. So in the wee hours, she leapt into the Hudson. And as hard as it is for us that was left behind, she had her own set of beliefs about the afterlife and about how people should have the right to go the way that they want to go. And so, you know, I think that was actually a really net good way for my mother, who I just adore with all my heart, who's been left with a broken heart, put it. And what I was saying before is the song Goodbye My Friend, which wasn't originally about her when I went to record the song, became so much about that experience because I was going through it, so I was able to channel that energy. And I'm crying on the track. You sort of hear it at the end. My voice got a little emotional and cracked, and I wanted to re-record it. And the producer was like, "You are not re-recording that. That's powerful stuff." So it's there in all of its raw glory on the record.
And I'm sure wherever your aunt is, she's smiling down on you and just happy that you could share the message of just your own mental health journey and the importance of getting treatment out there. And we can also leave a way for people to find help on our website so that everyone can have access.
It's amazing
And in New
work,
York
what you
City,
do.
there's really less shame about it. It's a little bit more like a personal trainer
Los
for the
Angeles
mind.
too.
Yeah,
Come
it's kind
on.
of like if you don't have a therapist, people are wondering why
Right,
not. Like,
right.
what does that say about
Right.
you? I want to get into, well, before we get into the quick five,
Okay.
I just want everybody to get a sense of the powerhouse people that have been associated with you. You have worked with a lot of famous musicians or musicians who have worked with famous people. Tell me a little bit about that, because they've been Grammy-winning production teams.
It's been a journey, and I've got to learn from some of the greats. My first foray into songwriting was with a world-renowned singer-songwriter named Andrew Gold, who's no longer with us, but he wrote "Thank You for Being a Friend" for the Golden Girls theme song. He had his own career in the 70s with his hit "The Lonely Boy." He was the head of Linda Ronstadt's backing band, so total beast mode singer-songwriter of the 70s. And he was a mentor of mine, produced some work for me when I was 13. And then I went on 15 to sign a deal with the Bass brothers, Mark and Jeff Bass, who were based out of Detroit. And they were responsible for doing a lot of Eminem's work.
Oh, wow.
And so I was sort of in and out of the studio with Eminem. Like, he would come and he'd leave us the lyrics on the bandstand and a music stand rather. And I would like find Eminem's like wordsmith lyrics just up with mind-blowing stuff.
Incredible.
So that was a really cool experience. And then I went to school for University of Michigan as a jazz major, and I traveled around the world and performed in jazz clubs around the world, which is a huge part of who I am as an artist.
Carlisle Cafe, which is huge.
Not the Carlisle, the Blue Note, but maybe there was.
Maybe they said that. Well, you should.
I should.
If you haven't yet,
yeah,
they should call.
Blue Note was a huge one for me.
That's
That
huge.
was really fun. I did that before I was even like allowed to technically be in there, because I was probably 18 years old.
And then recently you were at the Rockwell. Is that
Rockwood Music.
Rockwood.
Yeah,
Rockwood.
that was
I mean, soon you're going to be everywhere. So
Thank
we're
you.
just happy to have you now. We're going to do the quick
Okay.
5.
Okay.
And then we're going to have your fabulous guitarist
I'm so
come
excited.
in and sing the song for us. Okay. Which food makes you happy 24/7?
Oh, sushi.
Oh, sushi. You're so healthy.
Thank
See,
you.
in my mind, I'm thinking French fries for myself. What are 3 things that are on your bucket list?
Travel the world playing my music everywhere. Have a family many moons from now. Be able to change lives in a positive way.
I love it. Have you ever thought of dating a celebrity?
I'm sure I have. I was a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan when I was a wee little tot. Yeah.
What do you want to learn as soon as you can?
Guitar.
Oh, okay.
I'm a piano player, so
all right.
yeah.
So that's next on the list.
Next on the list.
What is your best throwback photo that you really liked?
Great question. Oh my God, you stumped me. My best
We saw a picture of a little girl on your Instagram. Was that you?
They probably was, yeah.
Okay, that
I
was
was
so
always up
cute.
to all sorts of things when I was a little girl. I was singing my heart out before I could even talk, so I'm sure there's probably some crazy photos up in the old photo books.
We will direct people to your Instagram. Hopefully
do.
there's a lot of throwbacks there where
Yes.
people can find you, and I think that there's little clips of you singing
Yeah.
on there as well.
Yeah.
I'm now following you, and I'm sure everyone will after they hear
Thank
you
you.
today. Should we include Zach, your guitarist,
Yes,
to help
please.
sing? Come
Zach
on over,
Comstock
Zach, now
is
that you got your
here.
hair done
He's
by
all
our
zhuzhed up.
dream
Just
team.
like-
good.
Makeup person, Maureen.
This is Zach Comstock. He's a recent friend and musician that I'm truly enjoying playing with, and he has learned my music so beautifully.
Wonderful.
And so we're going to do this song for you, Goodbye My Friend, right now.
Terrific.
1, 2, 3. Is this all just a dream? Wake me up, I'm gasping for air. When we spoke of this day, I never thought I'd say it's here. Hanging on by one little thread. Time stands still and I don't know where I am. If you're out there listening, let me say just one thing. I'll never be the same without you, although I'll try. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. Memories fade as fast as they came. We both know there's only one thing we can blame. Promise you travel safe. Go find your happy place, my dear. Ooh, and every song I'll sing is for you. Your every word, yes, you're all I ever knew. If you're out there listening, let me say just one thing. I'll never be the same without you, although I'll try. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. We're running out of time. It's almost over now. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. Goodbye, my friend, goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.
Amazing, amazing, so touching, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
We want everybody to find you. Is there a quick and easy way that people can look for you?
Instagram, Facebook, JESSEPALTER,
Okay.
Twitter. I do have a website, jessiepalter.com.
Okay.
If they Google me, they can find me
All
all
right,
the places.
well, we're going to make sure they do. Paper Trail out July 19th. Don't forget to get it. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.